Good morning, and it's 10 o'clock. Welcome to Lincoln Ware Live. We're here every Sunday morning from 10 until 11. And as usual, we got a great show lined up for you today. Keeping those New Year's resolutions. I know we've all made them, but are you going to keep them? Everybody, I'm going to lose weight this year. I'm going to work out. Yeah, right. Up for a couple of months, and then it's back to the same old, same old. We're going to talk about that the first half of the show, getting in shape, going to the gym, getting a personal trainer. We'll talk about that the first half of the show. The second half of the show, we've got Ed Rothenberg. He's going to run for a county commissioner as a Republican, but they didn't want to endorse him. He's not running as an endorsed Republican, and we'll find out why coming up on the second half of the show. But on the first half, as usual, we've got Michael Milligan, Duane Hunt. Michael is from Body of Change, and Mr. Hunt is from Fitworks. Welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thank you.
Now, like I said at the beginning of the show, New Year's resolutions, everybody says they're going to lose 20, 10, 20, 30 pounds, and they're going to join the gym and work out. Normally, how long does that last?
Typically, the large volume of people are going to come for that first 3 months.
Yeah.
New Year's is that magical time where everybody wants to get that fresh start, and it usually lasts about 3 or 4 months, but a nice percentage of those people actually do end up staying for the long term. Mm-hmm. So they make that personal commitment, and they're able to get some results right away and able to succeed. That's really the key, is seeing some results as soon as possible.
Now, and Duane, you say, I mean, not Duane, but Michael, you say that if they have a personal trainer, they normally stay longer. They'll stick with it.
Definitely. When somebody invests a little bit more in their results, they tend to stick with it a little bit more. When somebody's paying just a gym membership, the only person holding them accountable is themselves. Mm-hmm. So if they have a whole team, Fitworks and Body of Change as a team, holding them accountable, think about it, they have a whole family and a whole friend that's going to call them every once in a while and hold them accountable, and they just tend to stick with it.
Right, yeah, and I guess it's easy if you're working out and somebody's right there with you, watching you do your reps and making sure you have the right weight and doing that, you would probably stick with it a little longer.
Definitely.
Now, if you've got questions, 513-381-3838, questions about if you decide to start working out, how should you start and where should you go, give us a call right here. We'll answer those questions, 513-381-3838. Now, what do people say is the one thing they want to lose when they come to the gym? What's the first thing they say they want to lose?
They almost always want to lose weight. I'd say probably 80% of our clientele want to lose weight and firm and tone. They have a few problem areas on their body that they look at in the mirror.
What's the main problem area?
Usually the midriff. The love handles, the gut, a little bit there. Yes. We all like to store that body fat right there.
What happens to guys when they get 40, 50? It just all goes right here, it seems like.
Exactly right.
And what's the easiest way to take that off?
Well, realistically, losing weight is not about where it's going to come from. You lose it symmetrically. You can't spot reduce. You can't get rid of your love handles or your thighs. It has to do cardiovascular. You have to do weight training, and you have to watch what you eat. So it's kind of a three-pronged attack, and that's why with Body of Change and Fitworks, that's what we do together, is we give you all the necessary tools to be successful, not just one out of the three. You can't do it with diet alone.
Yeah. Now, what if if you're actually a skinny guy, but you're just big in the middle, then you don't want to lose weight just to get rid of this, because you really, don't want to lose any weight because you're skinny everywhere else. Skinny arms, skinny legs, just got a big, area right here. So what do you do in that case?
Well, for most people, what they don't understand is muscle is really king. If you can put on a little bit of body muscle, just maybe 5 or 6 pounds, you could really up your metabolism, and that will help you lose weight and keep it off. So for someone like that who has a little bit of midriff additional fat, but they really don't want to be a weight loss person, they can really go into a weight training activity with Body of Change or at the club itself and make sure that they're doing the things necessary to put on that extra weight so that it fills you out. We always say the bigger your chest and back is, the smaller your waist looks. So there is some things to that.
And so what's the main exercise you work on that midsection? I guess a lot of sit-ups and things like that.
And as Duane said, you can't really spot reduce. So a lot of clients come in wanting to lose their gut. But really, you have to do everything. When you put more muscle on, your metabolism goes up, and your body takes fat from where it wants to take it. So if you're a guy that has a bigger belly, that's the last place you're going to lose body fat. So we got to put on some muscle, get the metabolism revved up.
Is there anything you can do to replace sit-ups? I hate sit-ups more than anything in the world.
Crunches. There's machines that Fitworks carries that do strictly your midsection. You have the side twists for your sides. And there's tons of different exercises in that Fitworks and Body of Change as a team will take people through that. People shouldn't think that just because they come into a gym and they can't afford training that they can't come and join. They need to come and join because we're going to help them out no matter what.
Now, what about, I've seen on TV where you can get these little things you put on with the electric shock to your midsection. Do those things work? I mean, it seems so easy. You just plug up and get a little shock there, and they say it gives your muscles the same effect as doing sit-ups. Have you ever heard that? Or?
I've heard it. I don't necessarily believe it because all it is an electrical stimulation. It's not really you crunching or you actually. A lot of working out is mental. Lots. That's why New Year's resolutions, it's mental. You have to, it's psychology. You got to stick with it. And it's on you first. So.
Let's take a quick break and we'll come back. Every line is busy. Everybody's got a New Year's resolution. We know you're going to lose 10 pounds in the next month. Yeah, right. We'll take a break and come back and hear what you have to say right here on Lincoln Ware Live. Back in a moment. And we're back live. Lincoln Ware Live is the program. Stephanie, Mary, Nona holding on. We'll get to you. We're talking about keeping that New Year's resolution. If you plan on losing weight, get out to a gym. It's best if you can get a personal trainer to help you with your weight loss reduction. I was just looking at some photographs of before and after shots, and I tell you what, it's remarkable at how different some of those people look. Stephanie, good morning. You're on Lincoln Ware Live. How are you?
I'm good.
What can we do for you?
Yeah, I was wondering, as far as the personal trainers, they cost. I mean, they're very costly. So, I mean, would there be like a type of let me try. Would it be like a type of I can't even think right now.
Sort of like a discount program
like
you can get on, so you don't have to,
right? People who have
maybe use him once a week, and then you work out yourself. The other times that you're in there, maybe you work out yourself 2 or 3 times a week, and then use a trainer once a week. I don't know. Can they work that out? Or?
Yes, very affordable training. Any program that somebody wants to get on. It's a misconception that you have to be with a trainer every single time. The benefit of training at Fitworks is that since we're already inside Fitworks, every member of Fitworks gets a discount. Personal trainers usually cost around $80 an hour. We're a minimum, down to $19 a session, up to around $49 a session, depending on how many times the person wants to train. So it's very affordable.
What about with people who have low income? I mean, do you guys, have anything with people with low income to where they can afford it?
Yes, definitely.
Also, too, we have some things in place in the club that allow us to show you how to exercise and how to be successful on a basic level. So not all of our members actually use personal training. Now, we encourage it because it's the fastest way to go and it's really a great option. But we do take you through and show you the basics, show you how to get set up. We can set up a workout for you and take you through it so you know how to be successful. Now, if you want that one-on-one training and that additional accountability and that upper level echelon of exercise, because personal training is going to do some things with you that you don't get from the basic level. They're going to show you some things you probably couldn't do on your own. But we're going to show you the basics and show you how to be successful. So I don't want you to feel like if you can't afford personal training, this is not for you. That's not the case. We have something for everybody.
Fitworks actually covers their first personal training session. Like they're with us for about an hour and a half, and Fitworks does that for the members. So they get to actually come and train with a trainer regardless if they buy training at all. It's free for the first time.
And so they'll give you an idea of what to do on your own.
Definitely.
Okay.
And where's the address or a number to where I can reach you guys?
It's 1877 Feel Fit. And what that'll do is connect you to, it'll give you a choice of your local facility. There's 7 of them in the greater Cincinnati area, northern Kentucky. And then once you come in, we'll take you through, get you set up, and then we'll schedule that first workout with Body of Change, so you're going to get the best of both worlds.
It's right there on the screen there, Stephanie.
Okay.
All right?
All right, thank you.
See you soon.
Thanks for your call. Let's go to Nona. Nona, good morning. You're on Lincoln Ware Live. How are you? Nona, I guess Nona's working out so hard she couldn't get on. Mary, how you doing?
Hi, how are you?
Pretty good.
I know, because you look pretty good. I want to say that, you shouldn't worry about your belly. Don't they call those bay windows? My daddy used to have one, and they called it bay windows.
Well, having a big stomach is not healthy. They say people who have heart attacks have that pear-shaped look.
Yep.
And so, that's not, you people you old folks, you think having a lot of weight is healthy.
No,
but it's not.
I don't think having a lot, but sometimes you can't have it where you want it. And I know I had all that, and I had to get on a diabetic diet.
Yeah.
And all of it went away. Mm-hmm. So I'm just scared of how far down I am going. But you keep up the good work and stay handsome and keep your bay window.
All right.
All right.
You might start looking out of my bay window, Mary, so I got to get rid of it. Let's go to KEISHA. KEISHA, how you doing?
How's everybody doing this morning?
Good.
I had a question. I want to lose weight, but maybe in my midsection. But it seems like when I start losing weight, it's like everything else goes. My behind, I don't want to lose that. I mean, my guy friends like that.
Yeah, you want to keep that rear end, but you want to lose weight. I got you.
And how can I, you can make your muscles bigger. How can I make my behind bigger?
A black woman wants her behind bigger.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, there's a couple different ways. You're going to lose weight all over, okay, but we have this unlimited number of exercises we can do to help you work on your glutes, your hamstrings, the rear end. So, you can add muscle and lose fat and not change the volume. All you'll become is a little bit tighter, a little bit firmer. In my opinion, that's not a bad thing. So, it's definitely a doable thing, but you definitely want to get that percentage of body fat down because that's what's going to help your heart. And you don't want to work that hard anymore. It's just an engine. And the more miles you put on it, the unnecessary ones, the worse off you're going to be. So exercising is going to be the key for you, definitely.
So what type of exercises should I do, to make my tush bigger?
There's tons of different exercises. There's squats, lunges, leg curls to separate your hamstrings from your glutes. There's so many different exercises that Fitworks has in their facility that we can do. Your ideas are pretty much limitless. So all you got to do is get into the gym, and we'll take you through pretty much everything.
And if you do you roller skate or ice skate or anything?
No.
Because I noticed, have you ever seen ice skaters?
Yes.
They have a real round rear end, so it's got something to do with ice skating, I
All
believe.
muscles.
Really?
All muscles,
Great
yes.
muscles.
Okay.
But if you ever notice, women have great calves. Almost all women do.
Yeah.
The reason they do is not high heels.
Yeah.
It's that repetitive motion.
Yeah,
where
okay, so I guess
it's
that's-
not an exercise plan, but
Yeah.
it does help.
Consistency is key, big time.
Thank you.
Hey, KEISHA, thanks for your call.
Bye-bye.
Let's move along. We're talking about keeping your New Year's resolution, and we've got personal trainers Michael Milligan, Duane Hunt, and they're trying to get you to lose weight and stay in shape and build that body up to where it needs to be. Nikki, good morning. You're on Lincoln We're Live. How are you?
Good morning. How are you?
Pretty good.
Good. I would like to know, do you guys charge additionally for body of change inside Fitworks, or is it added all together?
And that's the benefit of joining Fitworks, because Body of Change offers such a good discount that as a member of Fitworks, we're exclusive to them. That's the agreement that we have. So we make personal training very affordable for the members of Fitworks. That way people that really do want to work with a professional, they can, and it's very affordable to them. So yes, you do.
Okay.
All right.
That's what I want to know. Can I also ask, and I heard you tell the caller earlier that it's like $80 for an hour for a trainer.
That's
Can
it.
you repeat those prices for me again, please?
All right, thanks for your call. Hang up and listen.
There you go.
Go ahead.
That was for people that want to train with somebody out of their home. I was giving an average price. If I was to go to somebody's house, the average price around is around $80 an hour because of travel time and things
Yeah,
like that.
yeah.
Inside Fitworks, it's such a big discount. Sessions can be around $19 per session, up to around $49 per session, depending on what kind of program you get on.
Okay, what's the difference in the $19 session and the $49?
Specials that we run from time to time.
Okay, okay.
Yeah, frequency. A lot of times, if you're going to have someone who's going to commit themselves to more times per week,
Okay.
then obviously, the
price will go
volume,
down,
sure,
yeah.
sure, just like,
Okay.
it's going to be more of an investment for the
Yeah.
trainer, so they're going to give them a better rate.
Okay,
The
all right.
misconception is don't think that joining Fitworks and having a personal trainer is what you have to do. Join Fitworks first. We're all going to take care of you. My goal is to make sure people get results. I mean, you can come sit with me for an hour and a half to 2 hours, and I'll go over all the basics of training, and you can walk away with a free education. My concern is just making sure you're getting in the gym. That's it.
Now, what's the fastest way to build up your body muscle? Is it with free weights or what?
Anything that incorporates the most muscles, which would be free weights such as dumbbells, barbells, but everyone should start off on something that they can handle on their own. And as Duane said earlier, you can come in once a week with a trainer, twice a week with a trainer. Don't feel like you have to be with somebody every day to get the education, to get results. We're going to teach you what you can obviously pick up on pretty quick, machines, cable work, things like that. That way you can go off and do it on your own and have that sense of accomplishment. And then you have a whole staff of Fitworks, whole staff of Body of Change that you can come ask questions to when you're not physically with your trainer.
All right, let's take a quick break, and then we'll come back and wrap things up with keeping that New Year's resolution. And don't forget, on the second half of the show, Ed Rothenberg will be my guest. We're going to talk about the foreclosure rate in Hamilton County and his run for county commissioner. Back in a moment. And we're back live, Lincoln Ware Live. We're here every Sunday morning from 10 until 11 on It's 38. And, of course, the rebroadcast of this show tonight at, when is it, 9 o'clock? At 8 o'clock on WOTH Channel 25. 8 o'clock tonight, the rebroadcast. And now, we have a lot of senior citizens who watch this show. Do you have any discounts? You know, they're on a fixed income, but a lot of them are out of shape. They need to get in shape. Do you have any discounts for senior citizens?
Actually, we have a whole program called Silver Sneakers, and it's designed, you have to be a senior citizen.
And what age do you consider?
64.
64, okay.
You have to be on Medicare.
Okay.
And a few of the insurance companies around, and I believe Humana, some of the others, actually offer this as part of the insurance, so the senior doesn't pay at all. Now, we have several senior citizens that don't have that insurance, so they go with a different program, but they still attend to classes. And they're geared classes for senior. We have an aerobic instructor who's specifically instructing that level of exercise. So they're keeping that senior citizen in mind, getting them healthy, getting them moving 2 or 3 times a week. And the great thing for the seniors, that part for them is free.
Yeah.
Okay, or it's a nominal fee.
I guess they need to check with their insurance company to find out if they cover that type
And they can call any of our clubs
Okay.
and let us know what insurance company
Okay.
they have, and we can check for them.
Okay.
So we
Okay.
can definitely facilitate that.
Put that phone number up on the screen once again, and if you want to write that down and give them a call, I guess you can call them today if you want. They can give you that information. So we'll put that number up on the screen in just a second, and you'll be able to do that. Now, say if you got somebody 64, 65 in there, what type of workout can you give? You can't be too tough on them when they get that age. What type of workouts do you have for them?
Well, intensity is key. Someone that's a little bit older can do the same exercises as someone that's advanced. It's just not as much weight. We don't want to ever tell someone or stereotype an older person just because they're older. It seems kind of unfair to do that. So we take them through whatever they want to go through. Since we're there one-on-one, we can kind of accommodate them and see how it feels. If something is not feeling right, we'll immediately change it. That's the benefit of also being with someone one-on-one as well.
Okay. All right. Well, it sounds like a great program. And people, if you made that New Year's resolution, we want you to keep it. And call Fitworks, and if you can afford the personal trainer, take advantage of that, because that'll help you a lot more and a lot faster, and make it a great 2008. And I want to thank you, gentlemen, for joining me this morning, and really appreciate it. And like you say, if you're in shape, your body feels great, you feel great, and you'll live longer. Look at I saw Jack LaLanne on one of the late night talk shows. He's probably the oldest fitness guru in the country. Now he's like 90-something years old.
He looks great.
And he's still going at it. So, hey, you stay in shape. You want any final thoughts you want to, give to the people out there?
Well, basically, anybody that's even thinking about getting in shape, even if it's a little thought in your mind, call us. Call Fitworks. Call myself if you have any questions. My number's probably on the screen as well. You can call me anytime if you want questions answered. Call Fitworks, get you in there for a free membership for a day or two. And we'll definitely get you into the gym, because our main concern is results. So we're going to send out to everybody, come into the gym. I'll take you through myself personally if I have to. We're going to take care of you on personal training for free for a day. And then Fitworks memberships, they offer little memberships for free as well, so you can try it out.
All right, Fitworks, locations all around town, all around the
2
city.
in Northern Kentucky. We got 5 here. We also have Dayton included, so if anybody's in Dayton, we have a couple locations there. And actually, with the membership, we have 2 weeks free. So there's no excuse not to come in. It's 2 weeks free. Get you started. Try it out. If you like it, great. If you don't, then you gave it a shot. Maybe we're just not the right place for you. But
And you say you've got locations in Northern Kentucky also?
absolutely, Florence and Newport.
All right. Well, thank you for joining me this morning.
Thank you.
All right. We'll take a quick break, and we'll come back and talk to Ed Rothenberg about his run for county commissioner. And the Republicans and the Democrats made a deal yesterday, and pretty interesting. We'll talk about that when we return. And we're back live. Lincoln Ware Live is the program, and my guest, as promised on the second half of the show, Ed Rothenberg. Ed, welcome to the show. How you doing?
I enjoy being here with you.
It's good to have you here.
Sure.
I saw a big article in the paper on you yesterday about your run for the county commissioner and the deal that the Democrats and the Republicans they don't want to work for this next commission election. And you're running as a Republican, but you're not going to be endorsed because they don't want a big.
I'm not going to be endorsed. And then there was an editorial on the editorial page about that, and it says this is a bad deal for the public.
It is. I think it is.
And then there's one little period broke my heart. It said that now that this is happening, that Portune will coast to an easy victory.
And I think Portune would have been in big trouble because of that jail tax. I think people were upset that they had to work as hard to keep that out, and I don't think it would have been easy for Portune to get reelected to the commission.
Well, it still may not be easy for Portune because I am not that weak of a candidate,
That's true.
I don't think. In fact, one of the main reason I'm in this is because he didn't want to give us the right to vote, he and Pepper, and I think that weakens him. I would remind him, in fact, in my campaign that I'll do, that's one of the #1 things that I'll promise people. There'll never be a no vote situation, never again, causing people to go through that 45-day period of horrendous work to get that
to get that done.
56,000 signatures.
And now, I think people will remember that come election day.
And I might add, I don't sound like I'm bragging, but maybe I am a little bit, is that I started that petition drive.
I remember that.
Now, in a way, that was my first victory, you might say, against Portune and Pepper. And then the second situation was after we got it on the ballot, now we had to defeat them. We didn't like the tax, so our group, the coalition and myself, we went ahead and got on the media very often. We were well organized, and the result was we beat them on the sales tax that was on the ballot. So that's 2 victories. So now my hope is that I'm not such a weak candidate against Portune. He's going to be tough, but hopefully I'll do another miracle and beat him the third time.
Now, have you had any talks with the Republican Party? What did they say to you when you said, "Hey, I want to get in this thing"?
About a month ago, when I planned to consider doing this, I emailed George Vinson, who's the head of the party, and he did email me back. He said, "Sure, let's get together." And then I said, "Oh, great," And then I saw he said, "Call my office." So I called his office. And there was no return call. I emailed one more time. I made another call just to be sure, and never heard from them. And that was it. So they had, at that point, they had decided
that they weren't going.
Now they were going to use another person, a gal named Tracy Winkler, I think her name. She's a Green Hills trustee. Her father is
the judge.
Right. And they were going to. The word I heard was they were going to support her, which is fine. I'd have somebody to fight in the primary, but they removed her with this deal.
Okay. And so you're like a renegade out there now, going against the party.
Apparently, I'm invisible and so unlikely to do much damage that they feel it's like having nobody.
Well, what you need to do is go back to all the people who helped you fight against the sales tax for the jail and get them to back you, and then, hey, you could get in there.
Right, we have 600 collectors of the petition signatures that we developed during that period, and then we had 56,000 signatures. So you might say that might be my base.
There you go. All right. 513-381-3838 if you've got questions for Ed Rothenberg. And, of course, you're a big real estate guru here in the area. Hamilton County leading the nation in foreclosures. Yeah. How did this all happen, and how do we fix it?
Well, I know a lot of this stuff with these subprime deals were going around like crazy, but I thought I believe they were going around all over the country. I don't know how Cincinnati has the Cincinnati area, or the state of Ohio actually, I think is one of the number 1, 2 or so in the nation on this. So why we had used this process much more than say other states, I don't know. It just was there. I know there were lots of small brokers that were doing this. I had heard, and eventually these fellows were caught, that had bribed appraisers, that had bribed mortgage companies, and that had done these flipping deals, and a lot of them were caught.
Right, and that's where it really all started a couple of years ago, when these guys were caught doing this flipping, and they arrested them and put them in jail. Right. But that's how it originally started, I guess.
Right, and to me it was crazy what they were doing because it was so likely. I mean, as you did more and more deals, there was a chance somebody's going to say something eventually along the way. It's terribly dumb. But the problem was, of course, you had all these people that were in the picture that were being bribed and were in it. They had to have cooperation, the title companies.
Yeah, everybody was linked there. All right, let's go to the telephones, 513-381-3838. Ed Rothenberg is my guest. He's running for county commissioner against Todd Portune, who's a Democrat, but he's not running with the backing of the Republican Party. They made a deal with the Democrats that they wouldn't endorse anyone to run against Portune, and Ed Rothenberg is a Republican, but they're not going to endorse him. He's sort of like a renegade Republican out there running against Todd Portune. Let's go to Cheryl. Cheryl, good morning. How are you? Cheryl. Okay, I guess Cheryl's not there. Let's go to Jane. Jane.
Good morning, sir.
How you doing?
Oh, I'm just fine. I would just like to tell Ed Rothenberg that he definitely has my vote.
Well, thank you very much.
There you go. You got one vote from this show.
Now, wait a minute. First of all, and I kind of think of him like Barack Obama. People want a change. They are sick and tired of our politicians feeling like once they get in the office, it gives them license to steal from the taxpayers. And we need somebody to actually watch over our finances. And when they get in trouble, that does not mean they just get bailed out by the taxpayers.
Well,
who are having trouble as it is because of our escalating cost and basic living costs.
Well, do you plan on changing the way business is run in the county if you were elected?
I think what the caller here is talking about tax problems and issues like that. My number one thing would be there'd be no cap, no taxes, certainly under my situation. There's always a way to live within your means, just like you do it in your home, or if you have a business or something. There's no reason. I mean, there's a huge tax flow, cash flow of money coming from property taxes and from sales tax and other revenues that the county gets. It's inexcusable that they always have to find a way to want to increase tax. Hamilton County is perhaps, out of 88 counties and also northern Kentucky, we are one of the highest at the top. We have the highest property tax issues in the state of Ohio. Out of 88 counties, it's incredible. We are a high tax county. Now, what does that mean? Well, a lot of buyers for property prefer going to Mason or Westchester or some other areas. And so we lose them. That's part of the reason we have a loss in population. And secondly, new businesses. When they look at an area, one of the things they look at, well, how bad a tax issue are we going to get into?
Right, that's true.
So we lose the businesses.
You're right.
So I would try very hard not only to cap, but if possible, reduce taxes as best I could.
All right, Jane.
Well, I would also like to say this. It seems to me that by raising taxes, property taxes in particular, and then simultaneously paying people, giving them a tax abatement for 15 years. These people come in, don't pay taxes, everybody else moves out where they have cheaper taxes.
Well, that's mainly a city issue with the tax abatement, not a county deal.
But it comes from property taxes.
Jane, it sounds like you were you called on the Ken Anderson show, didn't you?
Who?
Anytime you talk about
Yes,
taxes and real estate, you're
Well,
going to
I
hear from
have some
Jane.
I was on his show, and it sounded
Yeah,
like
that's her.
she raised the abatement thing.
Yeah.
I'm happy with the abatement. It does encourage new property building, newer
Yeah.
properties. They get a certain amount, like $250,000, as if which is like cut off of the market price.
And it's sort of like
But
the
they do
city
pay above
investing
it.
in the future, because if they come in and buy, eventually that 15 years is going to be up, 15 or 20 years or whatever.
Right.
It's going to be up, and then they're going to have to pay. But without that, maybe they wouldn't even buy in the city.
That's
So
correct.
it's like an investment, Jane, which is what I've been trying to tell you
Well,
for months, but you don't want to listen to me, but that's okay.
Well, you know what, Lincoln? In 15 or 20 years, you may not be around.
You got that right. Thanks for your call. Let's go to Michael. Michael, how you doing?
All right, how you doing?
Pretty good.
you there?
What's your question? Yes.
Well, actually, I know Ed Rothenberg personally,
Yes.
and from what I learned of him, dealing with him, I don't think the man's 100%. I mean, I've looked at some of his properties. He owns property all over Cincinnati. I'm sure he's not going to worry about the tax abatement because it goes in his pocket. But he has some slummy pieces of property.
Oh, boy.
And, I don't support him. I think he just, he's trying to get his face out there and try to be known.
All right. You agree with Michael? He says
I didn't quite
He
understand.
says you're just out trying to be known, and you got properties that's not kept up and things like that.
Oh, really?
That's what he says. Is that the truth?
No, I don't have that much residential property. The property I have some Hyde Park Square commercial property. That's my
Okay.
main bread and butter. I do collect rent, and I do have some other one downtown and a few others here and there. And as far as I know, I try very hard to manage them, and it would be very stupid as a businessman in real estate not to
Keep your
up,
property up.
and
Yeah.
also to be sure to try very hard. I'm very tough on getting responsible renters, so I don't have evictions, almost never, and I have to keep them happy, have to be fair about the rent I get. I can't gouge, or I lose them, they move, and once you get a vacancy, it's a real pain, so you don't want that to happen. So I don't know
What Michael's
where I
talking about. Maybe he's a Poor Tune supporter, and he's trying to stick the knife in early here. Let's go to Marie. Marie, how are you?
Good morning. How are you?
Pretty good.
I have a question for Mr. Rothenberg. My property was highly overassessed, close to $80,000. And, of course, I was working so much, I really didn't have time to go down and file for a grievance or anything, so I continued to pay. This year, I finally got under the wire, and they reduced my taxes. But what happened to the prior tax money? Because they did lower it considerably. So now, is that laying back in a pot somewhere? I don't know. Is there any way I can recapture the money that I had paid?
The money she paid in previous years when her property was overvalued, can she get that money back after they lower the value?
No, you can, and be interesting to see how she did it. A lot of people don't have the gumption to go through the process. It is a little scary. You think that, if I have a complaint, they're going to turn me down anyhow.
Well, they go around from community to community and have little, neighborhood meetings that you can go to if you want to dispute your property value.
And that is something people should do. But at some point, you may need to go through the paper process.
Yeah.
And then you have to have some evidence that your property's worth X number of dollars. The evidence is gotten by the sales of other property. Is that how you did it, Marie?
How were you able to do that, to get your values lowered, Marie?
Absolutely. I went around with my trusty camera. I took pictures of properties around. I compared myself to what the other properties had that I did not have, and vice versa. And I went downtown and filed, for the complaint.
Okay.
Did you have the previous sales of some of these properties you took pictures of? Sale prices?
No, what I did, I went down and pulled their tax records.
Okay.
And I knew what was being sold because I keep up with my neighborhood. It's just I hadn't done that in the prior years because I was always working, which might be a little hint to you too, sir. You need to keep up on your property. I was in real estate, owned properties all around Avondale, and it can be a real headache sometimes. So anyway,
all right, Marie. Well, thanks for your call. We appreciate it, and congratulations on getting your property tax lowered.
Thank you.
All right.
Did you say, Lincoln, just one other thing, is there any way I can recap the money that I had already paid?
He says no.
No.
There's no way. Okay.
All right.
All right, thank you.
There is it depends if you filed, let's say this year, you would get, I think, a return of last year.
Okay.
Because the way they have it as far as the calendar is concerned.
Okay. Well, maybe check on that, Marie.
You might be able to go back 6 months.
Maybe 1 year, 6 months, or maybe 1 year. You might be able to get that back. So check into that.
Well, wait. Did you do this?
She's gone, but
she's gone. But if she did this last year, then the previous year she would also get. But if she does it this year, you could only go back 1 or 2 payments there.
All right.
And that would show up in a refund.
All right, let's take a quick break, and then we'll come back and take more of your calls. Ed Rothenberg is my guest, running for county commissioner, plus he's a real estate guru here in the county, and he can answer your real estate questions also right here on Lincoln Ware Live. We'll be back in a moment. And we're back live. Lincoln Ware Live is the program. Before we get back to the telephones, now that the jail tax failed, what's going to happen now? I mean,
well, the commissioners are still talking about how they're having overcrowded problems and that Queensgate is falling down. Queensgate houses about 800 inmates, and if they had passed that, they were going to tear down Queensgate and build this new thing, Taj Mahal jail. And our evidence shows, based on people that have been in there and out and so forth, that people do ministries there, that it's perfectly fine. And if it weren't fine, somebody would file a lawsuit, and a lawyer would fine for the inmates. They would try to close it out if it was no good.
I had Simon Lease on my radio show, and he said a piece of the ceiling fell down, almost hit an inmate, and the piece was so big that if it had hit the inmate, he would have died, and they would have had lawsuits going. He said the place is so bad. And he said the state only approved them because they didn't have any other alternative to give them a okay on the inspection.
Yeah, but if you or anybody in the media wanted to take a tour,
we can't do it.
They
but
won't let you in.
He said he would give me a personal tour.
Well, you should have taken it.
I'm going to take him up on that. We'll see what happens. Let's go back to the.
But it's fine, and that would be one issue here. That if I were commissioner, there's other ways to get more space through the processing of inmates and so on.
Let's go to Ken. Ken.
Hey, Lincoln and Ed.
Ken Anderson.
Oh, my.
Hey, listen, first of all, Ed, I want to, encourage you to run, and I want to thank you for that. I see this as an issue of people not having a voice. First, Todd Fortune did not want us to have a voice in the jail tax. Now he wants to be anointed county commissioner, and I think the people, our vote is being disenfranchised this way. And I think we need to cast party politics aside and just simply ask the question, do you as a Hamilton County citizen deserve a choice?
And normally, Ken, with the office that high up in the county, you have to run somebody. I mean, for dog catcher, then okay, make a deal. Don't run a Democrat against my Republican in the race for dog catcher. But when you get up to the commissioner's position, you got to have viable candidates and give people a choice.
Yeah, and that's why I say this whole party politics and partisan politics, we need to set that aside and just look at this as a chance that Portune didn't want the people to have a vote on the jail. He didn't. Now he does want people to have a vote on his commissioner seat. And you're right, a deal made at this level, it really flies in the face of democracy. Heck, we might as well be living under King Todd Portune.
But if Ed Rothenberg gets the backers of the anti-jail tax, I mean, you had a lot of people out there. If that's your base, you may give him a run for his money.
Yeah,
well, I got to convince people I'm a viable option. You know, I think I'm a sharp businessman.
All right.
And I know real estate. And my goal is to cap and prevent not jail tax, but any kind of tax from going up, because I recognize that hurts our economy. I think if I get the message out, which I will be able to do, that I am a viable candidate to take over. Now the question is, how much damage did Todd Portune do to himself?
Yeah,
I don't know. You tell me.
Well, I think, especially in the black community, I think he did some damage. And countywide, I think, you saw the results of the vote. So, I mean, it speaks for itself.
Well, the question then is, using the black community, which is a good deal of your audience, would they vote for a Jewish Republican?
I think so. In this case, you never know, A Jewish Republican, they just might. I mean, stranger things have happened. Pat Duane, he's a Republican, and he was against the jail tax, and he joined up with the NAACP.
Did he? That's right, we all did.
Right,
coalition.
So stranger things have happened.
Smitherman. Also, my real estate background, if I might throw this in, is very good for this kind of job. Many of the issues in the county are
real estate.
Like the banks.
The banks, what's going on with that?
Right.
Will we break ground in 2008?
Right. The jail was a real estate issue. The stadium is a real estate issue. Property taxes. I have an idea of trying to cap those because every 6 years they shoot them up pretty good. And foreclosures, there's a way to try to streamline that because they're sold at sheriff's sale in Hamilton County. So that would be part of my
okay, so it seemed like your only problem would be getting enough money to actually get the word out.
Right, and I wondered, is that the key to having party endorsement? Is it just money, right?
Pretty much.
Well,
pretty much.
So when it comes to money, I happen to have a few dollars if I need to go that way, and I think I could round up a lot of friends that would contribute.
Well, yeah, but I think at this point the deal has been made, so you're on your own.
I am on my own.
You're on your own.
It's the way it's been my whole life.
All right, let's go to Ward. Ward, good morning. How are you?
I'm all right, Lincoln, and to you, Mr. Rothenberg.
What's your question, real quick?
Okay, I just wanted to know, once one mortgage broker buy your mortgage from another company, can they start readjusting your mortgage payments on their own? I mean, from going to paying one fixed rate to a different rate each month, which is greater than the original rate that I had in my first mortgage.
Well, that means it wasn't a fixed rate.
Yes, well, I mean, it's a fixed rate, but what I'm saying was my mortgage payments was one thing with this one mortgage company, but now that the other one purchased it, now it's different prices I had to pay every month.
So
to accumulate some ridges, they said which was there. But if I've been paying that one mortgage for so many years, 10, 15 years, and then all of a sudden they sell it, and now I have to pay different, prices for the mortgage, and the house is paid off, by the way. Also.
Okay. So
all right,
okay, thanks for your call. He's saying that I guess they bought his account from one mortgage company, bought it from another one, and they're the servicer now, but his monthly payments are going up.
Well, that has nothing to do. It's very common for mortgage paper to be bought by one person and other companies. It could happen 3-4 times along the way. But whatever the terms that are written in there, that would be effect. My guess is that when at some point, maybe it was coincidence, but he may have had an adjustable rate mortgage which shot up at a certain
It sounds like it was but maybe he said he had some arrearage too, so maybe they tacked the arrearage on.
Well, where it gets confusing, if you're late, then they start adding penalties, and that really upsets what's going on. They're saying, look, you got to pay. That might be the problem. He may owe some penalties.
All right.
And that's why it's up there.
So he needs to check with them, give them a call, and find
Well,
out.
he ought to also keep his eye on state of Ohio is trying to develop a process where they can help people that are falling a little bit behind and
They were getting lawyers for free.
And give lawyers for free. It's possible to negotiate with a mortgage company to work out different terms. They don't want these properties back, so they are motivated to, if a person could pay a little bit less but still continue paying, they rather go for that than force a foreclosure. So.
All right, Ed Rothenberg, appreciate you coming down here this morning with us, and I want to wish you good luck in your quest for county commissioner. And like you said, you got a lot of work ahead of you, and you're going to have to get the word out as to why you think you're the best man for the job.
Right.
Even though you're not being endorsed by the Republicans, you still stand a good chance of unseating Todd Portune.
Right, and I'd like your audience to consider that in November when they look at that. Remember, I'm a Jewish Republican.
Okay, we'll remember that. All right. Is there a website you have?
You know what? It's so early in the game.
You
I'm
haven't
going to be developing
it.
that.
Okay, well, we'll have to get you back here. Maybe we'll get you and Portune back.
But that'd be great.
Would you
I'd
come
love
on
to,
with Portune?
I'd be happy to. He's
All
a
right.
tough debater.
All right, we'll set it up for
If
you.
people want to call me, just look up my name in the white pages, Edward. It'll be Edward Rothenberg, and my phone number is in there.
All right, thank you for joining me this morning.
All right, thanks.
All right, let's take a quick break, and we'll come back and wrap things up with the talk of the town right here on Lincoln Ware Live. We'll take a quick break, and we'll come back right here on It's 38 after these important messages. And we're back. That's one of my favorite shows, Cheaters. I just love when the guys get busted or the women get busted. And even if they're busted on tape, that's not me. I love that show. Mondays at 7:30 right here on It's 38. And speaking of It's 38, coming up at noon today, Cinderella on Ice. That's at noon today right here. And if you want to see a rebroadcast of this show, if you just loved it so much, you want to see it again, 8 o'clock tonight on WOTH Channel 25. And if you just love listening to me, you can check me out Monday through Friday from 10 to 1 on 1230 The Buzz. At 12:30 on your AM dial. I'm on from 10 a.m. to 1. So check me out on that. And if you want to see these programs on the internet, just go to WBQC.com, WBQC.com, and then you can look at some of the past episodes right here on It's 38 Lincoln Ware Live. So we'll see you next week, next Sunday morning, 10 o'clock, right here on It's 38. See you next week.